The rain hammered the coffee shop windows like accusations I had long tried to drown out, each drop a reminder of the boy I used to be, scrawny, scared, and utterly alone. There he was, Jordan Hale, the architect of my high school hell, nursing a black coffee at a corner table, his broad shoulders hunched as if the weight of the world had finally caught up to him. 15 years vanished in that heartbeat, and suddenly, the man who had shattered me was staring back, his blue eyes wide with a recognition that mirrored my own terror and something dangerously like hope. I should have turned and run, let the storm swallow me whole outside on the slick streets of Portland. But my feet betrayed me, rooted to the worn oak floor amid the scent of fresh grounds and cinnamon scones. Jordan's lips parted, a flicker of apology crossing his face before he masked it with that old, cocky tilt of his head. Alex Rivera? His voice was deeper now, gravelly from years of whatever life had thrown at him, but it still sent ice through my veins. I nodded, throat tight, clutching my to-go cup like a shield. Yeah, it's me. The words hung between us, heavy as the downpour. Around us, the shop buzzed with oblivious chatter. Baristas calling orders, couples laughing over laptops, but in our bubble, time cracked open like an old wound. He gestured to the empty chair across from him, tentative, as if expecting me to bolt. Part of me wanted to. The other part, the one that had spent years rebuilding from the rubble he left, was morbidly curious. What had become of the golden boy who ruled Evergreen High with fists and taunts? I sat, the chair scraping like a confession. "You look good," he said, fumbling for words, his fingers drumming the table. Good? The irony burned. Back then, it was the punchline the fairy he and his crew shoved into lockers, the kid whose lunch money funded their keg parties. Coming out as gay in rural Oregon had been suicide by rumor alone, but Jordan made it literal with every bruise. "Thanks," I muttered, forcing a sip of coffee that tasted like ash. "You too, running a tech startup now? Or something equally untouchable?" His laugh was short, bitter. "Close. I own a craft brewery downtown. Hale's Hops. It's keeping me busy." He leaned forward, elbows on the table, and for the first time, I saw the lines etched around his eyes. Lines that spoke of sleepless nights, not just boardroom battles. "Alex, God, this is awkward. I didn't expect to see you here. Ever. Life's full of plot twists," I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. The rain eased to a drizzle, mirroring the shift in my pulse. Why wasn't I yelling? Why did his gaze, stripped of malice, stir something forbidden in my chest? A spark of the what-ifs I'd buried deep. We talked, halting at first, like two strangers piecing together a shattered mirror. He asked about my job, architectural firm in the Pearl District, designing eco-friendly lofts that dotted the skyline. I asked about his pouring passion into IPAs that won awards, but losing his marriage last year to a woman who deserved better than my secrets. Secrets. The word lingered, pregnant with implication. As the shop emptied, the barista flipped the close sign, but Jordan lingered, his eyes searching mine. "I owe you an apology. A real one. For everything. I was a kid, angry at the world, taking it out on you, because you were brave in ways I couldn't be." Brave. The word hit like sunlight after storm. I had fought for that bravery, therapy sessions and pride parades forging it from fear. But hearing it from him, it unlocked something raw. It wasn't just anger, Jordan. You made me hate myself. He winced, genuine pain flashing. "I know, and I've hated myself more for it. That's why, when I saw your name on that alumni newsletter last month, you stalked the alumni page." I arched a brow, half teasing, half accusing. He grinned sheepishly, the boyish charm peeking through. "Guilty, but hearing you'd moved back to Portland, it felt like fate slapping me awake. Can we do this again? Coffee, no rain next time?" I hesitated, the rational part screaming no, but the heart, the one that had loved fiercely and lost quietly, whispered yes. "Maybe. Text me." I slid my number across on a napkin, our fingers brushing in a jolt that echoed thunder. Walking home through puddles that reflected neon signs, I replayed it all, heart pounding. Jordan Hale, my tormentor, now a man with regrets and a brewery empire. What game was this? And why did it feel like the start of redemption or ruin? The next morning dawned gray and drizzly, Portland's eternal autumn veil clinging like doubt. I stared at my phone, the napkin-scribbled number burning a hole in my pocket from last night. Jordan's text arrived at 8:15 sharp. "Hey, it's Jay. Thanks for not punching me. Lunch today. My treat. Neutral ground, promise." Neutral ground. As if anywhere near him could be. I typed back before reason kicked in. Sure. Food car pods at one. It was public, casual, a buffer of sizzling falafel and hipster chatter. Safe enough to test these waters without drowning. The pods were a riot of aromas, shawarma spice mingling with craft soda fizz, under a canopy that barely shielded us from the mist. Jordan arrived early, 2 trays balanced like peace offerings. Lamb wraps for him, veggie falafel for me, remembered from some locker room taunt about my rabbit food. He looked different in daylight, his leather jacket swapped for a soft flannel that hugged his frame, blonde hair catching the light like forgotten summer. We ate on a communal bench, knees inches apart, the air thick with unspoken history. So, tell me about you, he prompted, unwrapping his food with care. The Alex I knew was always sketching. Buildings, right? Not surprised you're designing half the city. Flattery or genuine? I chewed slowly, weighing it. Yeah, sketches turned into blueprints. Moved to New York after college, chased the skyline. But Portland pulled me back. Family, roots, you know? Lies by omission. The real pull was my sister's cancer scare 2 years ago, the one that made me reprioritize before it was too late. He nodded, eyes distant. I get roots. Stayed local after high school. Dad's farm went under, so I pivoted to brewing, fermenting anger into something useful, I guess. His rap paused mid-bite, vulnerability cracking his voice. Alex about back then. My old man was a drunk, beating the confusion out of me. I lashed out at you because you owned what I was terrified of. The admission landed like a gut punch. Confused? The pieces clicked, his over-the-top aggression, the way he'd linger after shoving me, eyes flickering with something unnameable. You mean? Eh, he said softly, the word exhale of long-held breath. Yeah, closeted as hell, projecting every fear onto the one guy brave enough to live it. I was a monster. The world tilted. Jordan Hale, straight-A jock, homecoming king. Gay? The irony twisted like a knife, sweet and sharp. I thought you hated me because I was. Wrong. You were right, he countered fierce. Everything they whispered about me, you saw through it, and I punished you for it. Tears pricked unbidden, not from pain, but release, the validation I'd craved, served by the very hand that bruised me. Around us, food carts hummed, laughter bubbling from nearby tables, but our corner felt sacred, a confessional amid the mundane. We walked after, aimless along the Willamette River, the water churning gray under overcast skies. He shared fragments, his sham marriage to Emily, a college sweetheart who sensed the disconnect but stayed for the facade, the divorce papers signed in quiet defeat, therapy that unearthed the boy who cried after every bully session, ashamed of the thrill beneath the rage. I shared mine, the parade floats that healed me, the boyfriend in New York who ghosted when my ambition outshone his, the quiet nights designing dreams to outrun nightmares. By the time we reached my loft building in the Alphabet District, the mist had thickened to rain again. He stopped at the door, hands shoved deep in pockets. This is weird, right? But good weird. Yeah, I admitted, pulse racing. Good weird. Our eyes met, and in that suspended breath, he leaned in, not forceful, but seeking permission. I granted it with a nod, and his lips brushed mine, soft as forgiveness, tasting of falafel and possibility. It was a spark, not a blaze, tentative, testing. But as he pulled back, smiling that lopsided grin, my world shifted. The bully was gone. In his place, a man worth the risk. That night, alone in my loft with blueprints scattered like fallen leaves, I wondered, could love bloom from thorns? Jordan's text lit my screen. Can't stop thinking about that kiss. Dinner tomorrow. I smiled, typing yes, as thunder rumbled distant approval. But dawn brought the first crack. A call from my sister, Mia. Alex, you okay? Saw you with some guy at the pods, blonde built. Spill. Mia, ever the protector, had my back since mom's passing. Her own queerness a badge she wore proudly. It's complicated. I confessed over coffee in her kitchen, the scent of her famous chai lattes grounding me. Complicated how? Hot stranger or hot mess? Both. High school. The worst of them. Her eyes widened, mug pausing. Jordan Hale? That Jordan? Alex, what the hell? I spilled it all. The coffee shop serendipity, the confessions, the kiss. She listened, fierce brow furrowed, then sighed. People change, but scars don't. Be careful, okay? You've rebuilt so much. Her words echoed as I headed to work, drafting elevations for a queer youth center. Ironic given my history. Jordan's brewery tour was that evening, His invite a casual, see where the magic happens? I went drawn like moth to flame. Hales Hops was a converted warehouse on the east side, exposed brick and gleaming tanks humming with fermentation's alchemy. Staff buzzed around him like planets to a sun, but he lit up when I arrived, handing me a flight of samples, crisp lagers, hazy IPAs infused with local hops. This one's called Redemption Red, he said, clinking glasses. Fitting, huh? We toured the vats, his passion infectious, explaining malting processes with hands that gestured wide, eyes alight. In the tasting room, under string lights that mimicked stars, he pulled me aside. Alex, I meant what I said. I'm sorry. And I like you. A lot. More than like. The air thickened, charged. I set my glass down, heart hammering. I like you too. But it's scary. You broke me once. I know. His hand found mine warm and steady. Let me help rebuild. We kissed again, deeper this time, the room fading to the rhythm of our breaths. It was fire now, consuming doubts, igniting what-ifs into reality. As we broke apart, breathless, I whispered, okay. But outside, waiting in the shadows of my mind, old ghosts stirred. Was this real, or just another bully's game? Weeks blurred into a rhythm I never expected. Stolen mornings at my loft, where Jordan's laughter echoed off exposed beams as he burned pancakes, his broad frame dwarfing my tiny kitchen. Evenings at the brewery, where I'd sketch designs on napkins while he poured experimental brews, our fingers intertwining under tables. Portland embraced us, the city's progressive pulse thrumming through pride flags on every corner, rain-slick streets that mirrored our slippery path to trust. Yet, cracked spiderweb beneath the surface. Mia's warnings lingered, her lunches laced with gentle probes. He's consistent? No red flags. I nodded but doubt not. One night, after a gallery opening where I unveiled sustainable housing models, Jordan arrived late, tie askew, breath sharp with whiskey. Not his own brew, but something harsher. Sorry, client dinner ran long, he muttered, pulling me into a hug that smelled of cigar smoke and evasion. You were brilliant up there. Thanks. I searched his eyes, finding storm clouds. Everything okay? Yeah, just old stuff. He deflected with a kiss, but sleep evaded me that night, his snores ragged beside me. The past refused burial. It resurfaced at a high school reunion invite, emailed to my inbox like a grenade. Evergreen Alumni Gala. Relive the glory. Jordan spotted it over breakfast, his fork pausing mid-bite. You going? Hell no. The memories flooded. Taunts in the halls, his fist connecting with my jaw in the parking lot after I dared flirt with a classmate. You? He shrugged, too casual. Maybe. Close the chapter, you know. With who? The ghosts. My voice sharpened, coffee turning bitter. With you, ideally. Us my daughter. His smile was hopeful, disarming. I froze. Date? Publicly, hand in hand, in the lion's den? The thought thrilled and terrified. Vindication wrapped in vulnerability. You're serious. Dead serious. Show them, the bully and the brave kid, we survived. Together. The idea burrowed, seductive. I agreed, against Mia's protests. It's a trap, Alex. Or therapy theater. Protect your heart. Preparations consumed us. Jordan commissioning custom labels for a reunion-exclusive beer, Second Chance's Sour, his way of toasting transformation. I designed a subtle pride pin for our lapels, interlocking gears symbolizing mended mechanisms. But as the date neared, his mood swung. Euphoric 1 hour, withdrawn the next, vanishing into late-night calls I pretended not to hear. The night arrived crisp, fall leaves crunching under tires as we drove the hour to Evergreen's Community Center, transformed with balloons and a DJ spinning 2000s hits. My stomach nodded, palms slick on the wheel. Jordan's hand on my thigh steadied me. We've got this. Inside, the air reeked of cheap cologne and regret. Former cheerleaders nursing wines, jocks balding under fluorescent lights. Heads turned as we entered, arms linked, his flannel traded for a sharp blazer that accentuated his build. Whispers rippled. Is that? No way. Hale. With Rivera? We navigated like royalty in exile, Jordan's charm deflecting stares. Alex here's changing Portland one green building at a time, he'd boast, pulling me closer. I flushed, pride swelling amid the scrutiny. Then, the wolf pack appeared. Tyler, his old lieutenant, now a paunchy salesman with a forced grin. Jordan, buddy, and Alex. Didn't expect the reunion special. Jordan's jaw tightened, but his voice stayed even. Times change, Ty. Alex is my partner. Partner. The word landed like a mic drop. Tyler's eyes darted, discomfort blooming. Right. Cool, man. Beers. We followed to the bar, tension coiling. Tyler poured from Jordan's donation keg, sloshing foam. So you two, for real? After all that high school drama? The room hushed, eyes on us. Jordan met my gaze, steel in his blue depths. Yeah, for real. And about that drama, I was an asshole. Alex forgave me when I didn't deserve it. He's the best thing that's happened to me. Murmurs swelled, but Tyler clapped his back, awkward. Water under the bridge. Huh. Not quite, but the ice cracked. Later, on the dance floor to some forgotten pop song, we swayed, his chest against mine, the crowd blurring. Thank you, I whispered, chin on his shoulder. For this. No, thank you, for seeing the man, not the monster. His lips grazed my ear, sending shivers. But as the night waned, a shadow loomed. Emily, his ex, elegant in red, cornering us by the dessert table. Jordan, Alex, charming. Her smile was glass sharp. Eminesia, you look great. He stiffened beside me. Save it. I came to warn your friend. She turned to me, voice low. He's good at the honeymoon phase. But when the closet door creaks, he bolts. Asked him about Seattle. Jordan paled. Ain't? Not you. Seattle? My mind raced. A city trip he'd mentioned vaguely, business. She laughed, brittle. Oh, he will. Or won't. Your call, Alex. She sauntered away, leaving poison in the air. In the car ride home, silence festered. What was that about? I finally asked, eyes on the road. Nothing. Old fight. Bullshit. Seattle. He sighed, deflating. A conference last month. Met a guy. One night. Stupid. Meaningless. I told her because. Guilt. The car swerved slightly, my grip white-knuckled. While we were. Us. Before the reunion talk. Before I knew this was real. His voice cracked. I'm sorry, Alex. It was fear. Fear you'd see the old me and run. Betrayal stung, hot and fresh. I did see the old you, and I stayed. But this? It's the same pattern. We pulled up to my loft. Rain starting again. He reached for me, but I recoiled. I need space. Alex, go. The door slammed, echoing my fracturing heart. Alone, I curled on the couch, tears mixing with rain patter. Love from ashes? Or just more fuel for the fire? Days bled into a fog of avoidance. Jordan's texts piling like unanswered prayers. Please talk. I messed up. Let me fix this. I deleted them unread, burying in work, the youth center project, a lifeline of blueprints and deadlines. Mia dragged me to yoga, her downward dog fiercer than her lectures. Told you. Dump the drama. But dumping felt like amputating a limb. The good parts, the laughter, the way his touch erased old scars. By week's end, exhaustion won. I agreed to meet at neutral ground again, the Japanese garden in Washington Park, where koi ponds promised serenity. He waited by the moon bridge, hands in pockets, face haggard under cherry blossoms, shedding pink petals like confetti regrets. You came. Barely. I crossed arms, the chill air biting. Explain. All of it. He nodded, leading us along gravel paths, words tumbling like fallen leaves. Seattle was escape. A conference on sustainable brewing where loneliness ambushed him in a hotel bar. The guy was a mirror. Charming, closeted, a one-off that spiraled into self-sabotage. I woke up hating myself more than ever. Drove straight home, swore it off. Then you us, and it felt like grace. Grace doesn't cheat. I snapped, but softer, the pain ebbing to ache. I know, it was cowardice. But since you I've been all in, therapy twice a week, out to my staff, even Dad. He grumbled, but progress. The admission pierced. His father, the homophobic farmer who'd fueled the rage, I'd heard stories. Why now? Because of you. You make me want to be better. Worthy. He stopped by a lantern, eyes pleading. Forgive me? Or at least, try. Koi swirled below, oblivious. I waited. The hurt versus the hope, the bully's shadow versus the man's light. Try means honesty. No more hiding. Promise. His hand extended, tentative. I took it, the bridge beneath us steadying. We rebuilt slowly. Date nights at indie films, where his commentary drew my laughs. Weekend hikes in a gorge, where wind-whipped trails mirrored our winding path. Intimacy returned, tentative then torrent. Nights tangled in sheets, his whispers of I love you against my skin. Mine echoed back, fragile but fierce. Portland conspired with us. Holiday lights twinkling on Burnside Bridge as we strolled, his arm around my waist, unapologetic. Friends met him. My architect buddy, Lena, grilled him over tapas. His brew crew toasted our power couple status at a taproom release. Even Mia softened, sharing a beer with him, her nod of approval my greatest gift. But fate, that cruel curator, had one more twist. Christmas Eve, a call from Evergreen. Tyler, drunk dialing. Hale's old man. Heart attack. Bad. He's at the hospital. Jordan's phone buzzed simultaneously, his face draining. Dad, we raced the 2 hours, my hand in his as highways blurred. The hospital smelled of antiseptic and despair, fluorescent hum underscoring the beeps of machines. Mr. Hale lay frail, tubes snaking, his once imposing frame shrunken. Jordan gripped the bed rail, voice breaking. Dad, I'm here. The old man's eyes fluttered open, cloudy blue like his son's. Recognition flickered, then disdain. You, with that boy. A wheeze, but venom clear, from overheard reunion gossip. Jordan stiffened. Alex is my partner. I love him. A cough racked him. Disgrace. Ruined me. Farm gone cause of your weakness. The words landed like shrapnel. I squeezed Jordan's shoulder, but he pulled away, storming out. In the hall, he punched the wall, knuckles splitting. See? This is me. The poison he planted. No, I countered, bandaging his hand with stolen gauze. It's him. You're free. Hours later, as monitors flatlined, Jordan returned, holding vigil. The final breath came quiet. Jordan wept, not for the tyrant, but the father lost to hate. I held him through it, our love an anchor in grief's tide. Funeral was a somber affair in Evergreen's chapel, locals murmuring condolences laced with side eyes at us, hands clasped. Tyler clapped Jordan's back. He was proud deep down. Lies but kind ones. Driving back, snow dusting the windshield, Jordan turned to me. I need to sell the farm. Start fresh. With you. The offer hung profound. Yes, but fresh starts demand reckonings. Back in Portland, sorting estate papers unearthed letters. Yellowed from Jordan's teen years, scrawled please, Dad, I think I'm different. Unanswered, burned in shame. Reading them, tears streaming, Jordan shattered anew. He knew, and chose hate. We burned the rest that night, flames in my loft fireplace, devouring the past. Ashes cooled. He looked at me, reborn. I choose you. Us. Love, I realized, wasn't absence of pain, but alchemy turning lead to gold. Spring unfurled in Portland like a promise. Azaleas exploding in riots of pink along the streets. The Willamette swelling with meltwater, mirroring the flood of changes in our lives. Jordan sold the farm to a queer farming co-op. The irony not lost on us. Proceeds funded a new brewery annex, a community space with free workshops for LGBTQ plus youth, brewing as metaphor for fermentation of self. I dove deeper into the youth center project, walls rising from my sketches, a beacon of safety I wished I'd had. Jordan volunteered, teaching craft and confidence sessions, his stories of redemption raw and riveting. Watching him with wide-eyed teens, patient, affirming, erased the last bully echoes. Here was the hero I'd glimpsed. Our love deepened roots. Lazy Sundays in bed, trading dreams over avocado toast, surprise getaways to Cannon Beach, where tides erased footprints as we did doubts. Intimacy evolved, beyond passion to profound. His vulnerabilities bared like blueprints, mine sketched in return. Yet, shadows lingered. Emily resurfaced via email, not venom but olive branch. Heard about the old man. Sorry. If you ever want to talk, woman to woman, I'm around. Curiosity piqued. I met her at a quiet cafe in Selwood, tulips nodding outside. She was poised, laugh lines softening her edges. I wasn't fair that night. Jealousy, mostly. He talked about you, in therapy after we split. The one who got away, he'd say. The revelation warmed, but questions burned. Why stay married, knowing? Love's complicated. Thought I could fix him, but he fixed himself with you. Her smile was genuine. You're good for him. Us exes sense these things. Relief washed, bridges built, not burned. Bigger storms brewed elsewhere. My firm landed a contract for a high-profile hotel in the Pearl, glamorous, but demanding 80-hour weeks. Jordan adapted, but strain showed. Canceled dinners, my exhaustion snapping at his concern. I'm fine. I'd bark, collapsing into sleep. One night, after a site visit overrun, I stumbled into the loft to find it transformed, candles flickering, his special ale chilling, a table set with my favorite, seared scallops from the market. Date night, he grinned, pulling out my chair. No excuses. We really talked about balance, boundaries. I miss you, he admitted, fork down. The man, not the architect. Guilt twisted. I miss us too. This project's my Everest, proving I belong. You do. Always. His foot hooked mine under the table, playful anchor. Post-dinner, we danced to vinyl jazz, his arms enveloping, world shrinking to heartbeat sync. In bed, lovemaking was slow worship, kisses tracing scars, real and remembered, whispers of forever sealing us. But Everest loomed. The hotel's owner, a conservative developer from back east, toward the site, his gaze lingering on my pride pin. Progressive touch, he sneered. Hope it doesn't scare off investors. Rage simmered, but I held tongue for the contract for the team. Jordan fumed when I told him, call him out. You're more than this. Survival. I countered. Like you taught me, pick battles. He paced, frustration etching. No, like you taught me, fight for worth. The clash echoed, unresolved. Days later, at a team meeting, the owner escalated. Rivera toned down the rainbow rhetoric. Clients want luxury, not lectures. I snapped. Luxury includes inclusion. Or find another architect. The room froze. My boss paled but nodded support. Backlash hit. Emails, calls, the owner pulling funding threats. Jordan was there, brewery office commandeered as war room. We'll crowdfund if needed. Portland's got your back. He was right. Social media ignited. Stand with Alex trending locally, queer influencers amplifying, donations pouring for a parallel project. The Alex Rivera Inclusive Residences. The original contract folded, but rebirth bloomed bigger. Through it, Jordan's steadiness shone. Press interviews where he touted our partnership. My rock, my inspiration. Pride swelled. Mutual. Summer solstice brought pinnacle. Our commitment ceremony, intimate under string lights at Hale's Hops Annex. Mia officiated, tears in her toast. From bullies to beloveds, proof love wins. Vows exchange, mine. You turned my upside down right side up. His, you saw my light when I was lost and dark. Ring slid on. Simple tungsten etched with hops and gears. Guests cheered. Beers raised. Portland's midnight sun blessing us. But joy's peak often precedes valley. Post-ceremony, a letter arrived. Anonymous. Postmarked Evergreen. Grainy photos of Jordan in Seattle. The hookup guy. Time-stamped later than confessed. He's lying again. Scrawled note. Heart plummeted. Confrontation brewed. Thunder on horizon. The letter crumpled in my fist like a betrayal renewed. Photos spilling across the kitchen counter like confetti from hell. Jordan walked in whistling, fresh from a morning run, sweat glistening on his temple. His smile faded at my face. Alex, what's wrong? I thrust the evidence forward, voice steel. This. Seattle. After you swore it was done. He scanned, color draining. What the? This is fake. Look at the timestamps. Photoshopped shadows. Wrong angles. He grabbed his phone, dialing furiously. Ty, you send this shit. Tyler's voice crackled through speaker. Guilty sputters. Heard rumors, man. Thought you should know. Rumors you started? Jordan roared. After the reunion, you couldn't stand it. Me happy with him. Jealous prick. Click. Silence deafened. Jordan turned to me, eyes pleading. Believe me. Please. Doubt ward. Tyler's pettiness made sense. His awkward reunion vibe a mask for unresolved grudge. But the seed planted festered. How do I know? Trust fragile, Jordan. He knelt, hands on my knees. Then rebuild it. Whatever proof, emails, alibis. I was home that night, remember? We Skyped, you singing off-key in the shower. Memory flickered. Yes, post-conference check-in, his tired grin on screen. Relief trickled, but caution lingered. Tyler's poison. But why now? Scared I'll eclipse him. Always competing. Jordan's jaw set. I'll handle it. He did, confronting Tyler at the farm co-op. Words exchanged and heated tones witnessed by neutral parties. Tyler confessed. Hired a sketchy PI for dirt, twisted truths to sabotage. Apology email followed. Public retraction on alumni forums. My mistake. Jordan solid. Sorry, Alex. Healing resumed, but scarred. We therapy tagged. Joint sessions unpacking sabotage's roots. His in paternal rejection. Mine in bully's blueprint. Trust is verb. Our counselor urged. Act it. We did. Weekly truth tease over his latest brew, spilling fears freely. Vulnerability bonded us tighter. His confession of farm sale guilt, my admission of imposter syndrome and success. Fall harvest brought bounty. The youth center ribbon cutting, Jordan's annex grand opening synced for dual celebration. Crowds swelled, teens touring tanks, learning resilience over loggers, mocktails for minors, donors toasting designs that house the unhoused with dignity. A highlight. A teen, Jamie, shy with spike hair and braces, cornered me post-speech. You and Jordan. You why I came out. Thanks. His hug trembled. Jordan's arm around us both sealed the circle. But life's plot thickened. Mia's annual checkup revealed spots. Precancerous, treatable, but terror's echo. I'm scared, she whispered over hospital tea, her hand small in mine. Jordan stepped up, brewery shifts covered so he could drive her to appointments, stock her fridge with nutrient bombs disguised as soups. Family, he said simply when I thanked him. Watching him with Mia, teasing her over bad TV, holding her during chemo nausea, cemented it. This man was keeper. Recovery progressed, her hair regrowing in soft curls by winter. Gratitude party at our loft. Fairy lights, her chai bar, Jordan's spiced ale. Toast flowed. To survivors, Mia raised glass. Eyes on us. All kinds. Intimacy reignited fierce. Post-party, guests gone, we made love on the rug, bodies mapping gratitude. His murmurs, you're my home, against my neck. Yet, under Joy's blanket, unease stirred. Jordan's energy flagged. Late nights at the brewery. Explanations vague. Expansion talks. I trusted, but whispers from staff. Investor meetings running extra innings. One evening, returning early from site walk, I found his office door ajar, voices low, intimate. Peering, hearts sank. Him with a venture capitalist, slick-suited, hand on Jordan's arm, laughter too warm. We make a great team, the man purred. Off books too. Jealousy flared, irrational but real. I slipped away, mind racing. Seattle Redux? Confrontation waited till morning over cooling coffee. Who's the suit? He blinked, confused. Vince? Investor. What? Saw you. Flirty. Laughter, then seriousness. Alex, he's straight, married, pushing for a buyout. I said no. Want to keep it ours. Proof. Emails forwarded, professional chill. Sigh. Sorry. Ghosts. He cupped my face. Banish them. We're solid. Winter solstice gala at the youth center. Our joint venture capped the year. Snow dusted the roof as guests mingled. Jordan's speech heartfelt. This place? Born from pain, turned purpose. Alex, show me how. Applause thundered. Our kiss on stage, brief but bold, drew cheers. But as lights dimmed, a call pierced. Tyler again, sober this time. Jordan, emergency. Co-op fire. Your fault? Arson rumors. Accusations blade twisted. Past collided with present, threatening all we built. The co-op fire raged through news feeds like accusation incarnate. Flames gutting the barn Jordan had sold them. Headlines screaming, arson suspected in queer farm attack. Portland's progressive heart mourned. Protests brewing against hate crimes, but whispers pointed. Hale's grudge? Shoddy sale. Jordan's face ashen in our loft. TV flickering orange reflections. This can't. I inspected everything. Electrical was fine. Guilt gnawed him visible. Pacing, calls to insurers frantic. If it's me, God, the community. I pulled him down, grounding. It's not. Bigots lashing out, timing's too pat. But doubts seeded. Tyler's retraction fresh, motives murky. Investigation unfolded slow. Detectives interviewing. Jordan's alibis ironclad. With me, thank God. But forensics dragged. Accelerant traces, no prints. Media hounded. Reporters at brewery doors. Mr. Hale, comment on sabotage claims? He stonewalled, but stress etched deep. Sleepless, snappish, Alash overpoured. Our sanctuary strained. Intimacy paused, replaced by late-night strategy sessions. Fight it, I urged, drafting press releases framing resilience. Mia's insight cut sharp over emergency brunch. Tyler's ghosting calls. Smells like setup. She was right. Jordan confronted him at a dive bar, recorder hidden. Tyler's slurs spilling. Co-op queers? Your payout, man. I torched it, insurance scam. You in? Outrage exploded. Jordan bolted, straight to cops with tape. Arrest on raid. Tyler cuffed, motives manifold. Homophobia, envy, greed. Confession cracked under pressure. Solo act, but hoped to frame Jordan, reclaim old glory. Relief crashed like wave, but wreckage remained. Co-op families displaced, trust fractured. Jordan rallied. Brewery fundraisers, my firm donating rebuild designs pro bono. Phoenix Farm, we named it. Rising stronger, solar panels, communal kitchens, a testament. Through ashes, our bond tempered steel. One night, amid blueprint chaos, he looked up, eyes soft. You never doubted. I chose faith. Kiss sealed it, slow burned ablaze, reaffirming us. Spring renewal mirrored. Co-op groundbreaking. Jordan shovel first, soil turning fertile. Media shifted. Hero narratives. His coming out op-ed in the Oregonian. From bully to builder. Loving Alex healed me. Readers responded flood. Letters of thanks. Queer elders sharing parallels. One, from an evergreen teacher who'd shielded me once. Knew you had it in you, boys. Summer swelled with triumphs. Hotel project relaunched under inclusive banner. Ribbon cut with Vince, now ally, humbled. Youth center thrived. Jamie's mural adorning walls. Hops entwining gears. But climax brewed personal. Jordan's proposal, whispered on a gorge hike. Multnomah, fall's roaring backdrop. Marry me? Not ceremony. Real deal. Vows before world. Kneeling, ring glinting, hop-setched band. Tears blurred. Yes. 1,000 times. Wedding planning wove joy. Mia, as best woman, Portland courthouse for legal, brewery bash after. Vows intimate. His, you upended my world for better. Mine, from bully to beloved, upside down, righted by love. But pre-wedding, final trial. Jordan's health scare. Chest pains during a keg lift. Your dash revealing stress-induced arrhythmia. Slow down, docs ordered. Life's not conquest. Bedside vigil. I held his hand. Our life's enough. Recovery gentle. Walks in Forest Park. Therapy reframed to balance. Wedding dawned perfect. Blue skies over Willamette. Us in linen suits. Rings exchanged amid cheers. Honeymoon in the Cascades. Cabin whispers. Starlit hikes. Love's language fluent. Years montage in mind. Anniversaries marked with custom brews. My firm expanding to inclusive consults. Kids. Adopted twins. Boisterous and bright. Filling our home with chaos and light. Looking back, that rainy coffee shop. Fate's hook, reeling us to meaning. From bully's blow to beloved's embrace. Our story whispered. Redemption's possible. Love's the ultimate upside down. And in quiet moments, Jordan's arm around me. I'd murmur. Worth every turn. He'd kiss my temple. Everyone.